Podlediad Ysgol Craigydon.
Welcome to the Craigydon podcast. In this episode, we'll present cool facts on plants, animals, gladiators, geography, arts, sports, and story writing. Mwynhewch. Hello, welcome to Amazing Art by myself, Madison, and today I'm going to be talking about art. Artists like Cuffin Williams use a lot of paint, and most of the time they mix the paints together. Some artists use paintbrushes, palette knives and lots more. Paint is one of the things you use to do art, like what Cuffin Williams used to do. He used a palette knife to blend the paint when he was doing his art. Other artists like Leonardo da Vinci made a lot of paintings. Like one of his most famous paintings was the Mona Lisa, and it would cost £870 million to buy his Mona Lisa today. He used chalk to make his pictures in the early 1490s. Hope you enjoyed my podcast. I hope this helps in the future.
Welcome to Genius Geography. Today we'll be learning about fabulous flags. Nepal has the most unique flag with no rectangular banner. Nepal is located just above India. The other unique flags are Nicaragua and Dominica. They both have purple on their flags. Why purple is so rare on flags is because before they discovered other ways, the only way to get it was from crushing thousands of rare sea snails into purple powder. Switzerland and Vatican City are the only flags which have a square banner, which is not the typical rectangle. The rectangle shape makes the flag fly better. That's why it's so common. Thank you for listening to Genius Geography. I hope you enjoyed.
Spectacular Super Sports with Alfie,
Isabel and Izzy.
This week we will tell fun facts about cricket. Number 1. The first cricket ball was made of wool.
Number 2. Cricket bats are made out from white willow.
3. The first Women's Cricket World Cup was held in 1973 before the Men's World Cup in 1975. The England team won.
Number 4. Women's cricket can be traced all the way back to the 1700s, with the first match being played in 1745.
Number 5. Leslie Hilton of the West Indies is the only cricketer to be hanged for murder. He was convicted of murdering his wife, Lorraine Rose, whom he had shot 7 times in a jealous rage in 1954. Number 6. The only rule to not have been changed from the laws of the game, first written in 1774 by the MCC, is that the lengths should be 22 yards or 61.31 square metres.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to tune in next time for more cool facts about different sports.
Welcome to Perplexing Plants by Anea. Most people know what a Venus flytrap is. They're the most common carnivorous plants and they eat flies. But did you know that they can actually remember things? They can't remember what the weather was last Tuesday, but Venus flytraps can remember how many times a fly has touched one of their sensitive hairs. If a fly has touched one of their hairs once, that's fine. If the fly touches another one within 30 seconds, jaw-like leaves of the plant snap shut and they're eaten. All that without a brain. Also, you probably never knew that hidden beneath the soil are carnivorous pitcher plants that dangle their mini death traps underground. They look like hollow eggplants and lure unsuspecting prey into their sewer hole-like traps. Once an ant or beetle steps in, the insect falls to its death in a stew of digestive juices. Blech. Thanks for listening. Tune in next time to hear about more perplexing plants.
Welcome to Animals by Lily,
Anya
and Ava. There are about 15 million animal species on our planet. Only 2 million species are known or have been classified so far.
Every year, new species are discovered, described and named. Africa is known as the continent with the most known varied animals and the most animal species. Indonesia on the Asian continent is referred to as the most biodiverse country of the world and has the largest number of animal species on our planet. Australia, on the other hand, is known for its variety of marine life and the highest number of fish species.
Thank you for listening to our first ever animal podcast by Lily,
Anya
and Ava.
Hi, welcome to Super Story Times by myself, Summer. I'm going to tell you how to make a story. I love writing and I thought I'd share it with you. So, you first start with a theme. You might pick football or a school-themed one or even a normal people-speaking one. It could be anything. Then, you think of what's going to happen. The footballer could get an injury or the person in the school could get bullied. And if you want, you could then add a plot twist, like the footballer could become captain. Then, figure out what's going to be the ending. The football team could win with the footballer coaching. Well, that's it for me. Oh, but before I go, I'd like you all to remember that story writing is not easy. I mean, think of how long it took people like Roald Dahl and Enid Blyton to get to where they are now. Okay, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.
The Gory Gladiators by Celeste Wilde. Hello, I'm Celeste and my podcast is on Rome, and today we'll look at the Gory Gladiators. The two most common gladiators are the Milo, who fought with a sword, a visored helmet with a crest, an oblong, that means rectangle, shield and arm, shoulder and leg guards, and the Rheatarus, who fought with an Eton trident with a shoulder plate and an arm guard with no helmet. There were many types of gladiators, but I won't list them all, otherwise you might get bored. Gladiators were usually criminals and enslaved people, hired to provide entertainment in the Colosseum, which is the most famous Roman arena in history, or any other arena. There was also a famous gladiator called Spartacus who led a rebellion against Rome and won. This was how he did it. He led the third and largest slave revolt against Rome. His army of nearly 100,000 infested most of southern Italy and fought its way up to the entire length of the Italian peninsula to the Alps. Okay, so I've told you all the facts. Now it's time for a quiz. Number 1. What were the two most common gladiators called? Is it A, Antipater and Thracian, B, Mamilo and Rheatarus, or C, Secutor and Provocator? And the answer is B. Number 2. Who is the most famous gladiator? Is it A, Raptinus, B, Griticus, or C, Spartacus? And the answer is C. Number 3. Gladiators were most commonly, is it A, prisoners and criminals, B, rich women and men, or C, poor women and men? And the answer is A. Number 4. What is the most famous Roman arena? Is it A, Circus Maximus, B, Gladiatorial Combat Arena, or C, Colosseum? And the answer is C. And last but not least, number 5. How many people were in Spartacus's rebellion against the Romans? Is it A, 100,000, B, 300,000, or C, 900,000? And the answer is A. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Gory Gladiators.
Diolch am wrando. Come back next time.
This podcast was researched and performed by the Crag I'r Don Podcast Crew 2022.